Let me ask you, speaking of Penn State, you just mentioned Aller. We just talked about Olu, another polarizing Nittany Lion we got to talk about, and that is Tyler Warren. Thoughts on him at 7, and then maybe thoughts on him at like 12?
I would much obviously rather trade back to get Warren at 12 or 14 or 15 or whatever. Um, I understand that it's not that it just might not be in the cards. Like there might not be any trade partner, right? There might not be anyone that anybody wants to trade up for. And that makes 7 an interesting pick because I think there's a good chance no matter who we pick at 7, it's not going to be a guy in other years that was worthy of a 7. Like so if they just decide that Tyler Warren is the guy that they love, he's not the guy I would it depends on who's available. Uh he's not one of the guys I would take only because there's a lot of tight ends I like that I believe we can get in the second round. I think it's just that there's a little bit more depth there. So I'm more the wide receiver because I don't think there's the depth there. So if McMillan is there, I'm like 100% we have to take him. But but at the same time, I'm not one, I don't feel so strongly about it that I'm gonna be cursing and screaming and saying they're stupid and be upset. You add Tyler Warren to there's a good chance I believe because he's a very well rounded tight end that his floor is very high. Because worst case scenario, you're getting a really good athlete who can block really well and is going to, be a decent enough receiver. That's his floor. His ceiling, he's going to be a game-changing tight end, right? So, and
That's
you're going to
right.
have like a Pro Bowl tight end for the next 5 to 10 years. So, I'm not going to cry and scream about it. It's just this is just the reality of the draft we're living in.
Yeah, you can love the prospect, but not exactly like where our draft position is for that prospect. You know what I mean? Like we don't control that we're the fact that we're at 7 right now, but we can still love the prospects. Like I do love Tyler Warren as a prospect. I think he's a very solid all around tight end. I'm not crazy about taking a tight end in the top 12 of the draft, almost any draft. I
Yeah,
think the only draft I've ever saw a tight end where I was like, yeah, that guy is generational, draft him ASAP, and that was Kyle Pitts, and he's been underutilized in Atlanta for years. I still think that he's a stud, but
mhm.
and even his underutilized years, he's still 800 to 1,000 yards every year.
Sure.
So I don't think Tyler Warren is quite at that level. I don't. So like you said, it in a perfect world, it would be trading back, to 12 or 15 or something and getting them.
Sure.
But we all know that you have to have a suitor for that, right? And it
I
has to
mean,
work.
yeah, you need a trade partner. You have to have the trade partner. If you don't have the trade partner, you can't do it. So what are you going to do? There's also, by the way, thanks to because of the Bauer boys and all the controversy and shit that went on last year, because of that, there's an incredible irony. If we were to take Tyler Warren with the 7th pick, that's incredibly ironic because
It
a
is.
year ago, half our fan base was passionately fighting that you can't take a tight end at 7, even if it's this guy Bowers, even if he's this generational tight end. And then the next year we take a tight end at 7, it would be very, very ironic.